there we are. Alright, so it is day 3 being in SoCal. And it's kind of interesting last night because I got quite a bit of recovery done. We went to good old Planet Fitness because it was the only 24-hour gym pretty close to here. And then, got some cardio, got some stretching. But I knew if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be quite ready for what's about to ensue today. Because we have a big old back day, and I want to make sure, my conditioning's there, and as well as, I'm going to be pretty lax going into the lift today, so I can rep out some pretty heavy friggin' weight. So that's kind of the plan for today. Just back destruction. Really not holding back on back, So we're gonna be heading out pretty soon here. We gotta get a meal in with our new meal plan, and that's the other thing that I did last night. This was all pretty freaking late. I got to the gym at around I think 10. Finished up my cardio about 10:35ish. Did my stretching for about 30 minutes. Then I meditated for about 22 minutes. And then I went to go shopping at the only grocery store that would be open until 1 a.m. around here. So and it was a pretty big shopping trip. It wasn't like I was picking up a few things. It was for the whole week I was picking up all these different groceries. So made that happen, but we're freaking set for today. We got all the groceries. We prepared. I mean, even though, we woke up a little bit later, I would have much rather had it this way so that we could make sure that we're set for the week and set for today. So anyways, like always, my friends, we have 22 minutes on the clock. If you want to personalize your own transcendental meditation mantra, go to the description below. There's a quote that you can plug into ChatGPT and then just plug in your responses. The more detailed, the better. And then it'll shoot something back completely personalized for you. So anyways, y'all, 22 minutes. Let's freaking go.
Hey, Kathleen, when does the garbage go out? When does your mom's garbage go out? Okay, I got some garbage. Oh,
Oh yeah. Ooh, oh man, that was really cool. There was a whole lot of insight swimming around. Man, so I guess what's coming to mind right now is I don't know where I heard this. I think it was it was on that 10% Happier podcast with Dan Harris, and he brings on all of these guests that are you know kind of in the meditation space, and pretty much he brings on anyone that kind of has some sort of insight as far as how to be 10% happier in a way. And so he had someone, I think it was like kind of like a meditation practitioner of some sort, but they basically said that an unhappy mind is a wandering mind. And that's pretty freaking true. I mean, when you think about it from kind of like a common sense perspective, if you're if you're constantly thinking about other things right now, then your mind is just going for dopamine hits. Like, it's just going for whatever it thinks will make you feel the best. So whether that's like dwelling on the past, worrying about the future, it's like, ooh, sees that thought and it's like, oh man, you're gonna be my dopamine driver right now. So that's what the mind thinks. But if you think about it with common sense, when you're present, you have to be adaptive. You have to adapt to whatever's happening, because it's always kind of flowing. It's not like it's stagnant at any point. It's not like you can just press pause, unless you're in the movie Click with Adam Sandler. But that's another story. And so when you think about what's the most adaptive emotion, it's probably happiness. Like, at the end of the day, because if you think about it, like anger, even though you're super concentrated, it's very restrictive. It's very much like, what's gonna get me, the best reward. So that's anger. But and then like sadness, you're kind of dwelling on one particular thing, so you're not really like living in the moment. And then fear, well, fear, you're kind of just locked in on whatever's scaring you the most. So it's not very adaptive. I'm just going through all the emotions from inside out. Shout out. Disgust, you're just locked in on whatever's disgusting you in that moment. And then what's the last one? Well, I know there are like a few more with Inside Out too, but I think that's it. Fear, disgust, anger, sadness, joy. Yeah. Yeah, so, and you think about it, like, from that movie's perspective too. I don't know if you've seen it, but basically, like, there are like these figures that are supposed to represent all these different emotions. And so they're characters in the movie. And throughout the entire movie, every character except for Joy was kind of like fixated on whatever their thing was, whatever, they thought would bring Riley, the human that was, that had all these emotions. They were doing, like, all these other emotions besides joy were doing things that thought would bring Riley joy. So that's the thing. It's kind of interesting. Like, all these different emotions are like very well intentioned, if that makes any sense. Like, they're not trying to cause any harm. They're just trying to bring joy to you. But joy, on the other hand, joy is just adapting to whatever. It's like, if something goes wrong, you find a way to resolve it. So that's the thing. It's kind of interesting. That's like, when you think about it commonsensically, joy is usually I mean, joy is the most adaptive emotion. And so if you're present, you're going to be happy. That's just how it is. So, yeah, that was kind of a big insight I just had. Like, I didn't really think of it like that logically. It was just kind of like, you know, I knew in theory, like if you're present, you're happy. But I didn't really know, you know, the intricacies of it all. So, anyways, we are gonna be heading to get some back destruction in later on. We got to go get our grub on with the new meal plan, which I'm pretty freaking excited about, because we're apparently pushing the food again. We bumped up the protein just slightly this week, so we're gonna be gaining. I think we're at about like 218, 219 ish. So we're pushing for as heavy as we can possibly be. Like I'm aiming for like a lean 240 by the end of this bulk. Considering we're just on peptides, it's gonna take a little bit longer, but oh man, we're gonna savor every moment. That is for sure. So, anyways, y'all, I'll see y'all at the gym for whatever we got for back.
Light squeezing sets on this last one. Going a little lighter on bat wings, but still got to go at least a little heavy. This is one of those weird movements. Like if you don't go heavy enough, you just won't feel the stretch quite as much. So just go freaking nuts. Weird movement, but really accentuates the armpit part of the muscle, so it's good for like upper lat region.